Hey, hey, it's Dawn Zercaro. I am coming to you live from my bedroom in Ocean Township, New Jersey. I'm especially feeling blessed today. I really am. Right here. You see that word? I am feeling completely blessed today. So hashtag blessed. Let me know what is going on in your life and if you are feeling blessed in your life, because I'm going to be honest with you, I'm feeling blessed right here. I really, really am. I'm feeling blessed. I'm feeling amazing. And hey, Doris. Hi, everybody. As you guys are coming in, if you're coming in live, do me a favor. Let me know you're coming in live. Give me a hello. Give me a wave. Give me a hello, low. What's going on? It is Wednesday for all of you coming in on the replay. I've had pretty much of an amazing week. So I want to talk a little bit about my yesterday. I don't want to go into too many details because they actually asked us not to talk too much about what the show is about and like the premise of the show, but I can tell you I had an amazing experience yesterday. So for all of you not following this hashtag Strong with Dawn on social media, I had the opportunity to go see Mel Robbins yesterday. I've been talking an awful lot about her recently. I have listened to her books. I've listened to 3 or 4 Audible books. I've listened to her on YouTube. I've listened to her TED Talks. She's got amazing things to listen to, so I highly recommend you Google them all. You Google her show. I will tell you the part about Mel Robbins that's really cool is you can totally get in her studio audience. If you go online and go to her website, you'll get in no problem. It's a brand new show. It's premiering on September 16th. I think it's on Channel 2. Don't quote me on that. I don't know which day I'm going to be on yet, but it was such an amazing experience. First of all, the fact that I got to be with Ashley, Lisa, and Lisa's boyfriend Jerry, that was amazing in itself. The fact that I got to spend the day in the city with Ashley and them, but just the fact that I was listened to her on Audible, and I'm telling you, her coaching sessions changed my life just listening to her stuff. She's got something called the 5-second rule. Google it if you don't know about it. It's amazing. It's a great, because I've talked about it before, but it's just an amazing premise. And hey, Tammy, it's just was an amazing experience yesterday. Being in the studio, being in the back in the green room, meeting other people, doing hair and makeup, looking at my wardrobe, just meeting other people. It was just this fantastic, amazing experience that I never ever thought I'd have. And the fact that I got asked to be on the show was just even better. And I didn't even know if it was going to happen, and it happened. Hey, Cheyenne, it happened, and it was just amazing. So I just wanted to give you that little bit of tidbit before we get into the topic for tonight. But it was amazing. It was fun. I can't even tell you enough about the experience. Feel free to let your friends know below all about it, and they can, let your friends know about what I just talked about, because you could get on the show. And it didn't take long. I picked the dates and I got right on. So she's doing 2 tapings a day, morning and afternoon. You pick where you want to go, and it was just a lot of fun. So I highly recommend you doing it, especially with Mel. She actually recognized me. We had to send pictures of ourselves. She passed me as I was getting mic'd up, and I had to I was in the audience, and then I came out, and she runs on and off the set in between her the taping of the segments that they do, and she's like, hi, she recognized me, and I was I'm so excited. And then afterward I shook her hand and I said, you're the best, and she goes, no, you're the best. And she genuinely meant it. And then the topic that I talked about, I will give you a little hint, it had a little to do with Ashley. I will give you that much. I can't tell you too much, but it had a little to do with Ashley, and the fact that she was there and Ashley got to meet her, and it was just a great experience. So I highly recommend that. And it kind of leads me into the topic tonight. And the reason why is what I'll tell you. 11 lame ass excuses you make every day that are ruining your life. Because I'm telling you right now, we all make them. How many of you out there have excuses for every single thing under the sun? I'm going to give you the excuses, and then I'm going to give you maybe another way to look at it. Leslie, I'm telling you, you got to go. She's amazing. Listen to her books. And have you listened to her books? And let me know below. Drop me a Mel Robbins if you have, or give me a mail below if you have listened to her, because you've got to. It will change your life. I don't care what aspect, male, female, I don't care who you are. Listen to her coaching sessions. Do the 5-second rule. It will change your life. So, but we all make excuses. And actually, a little bit of the show yesterday was about this in a way. She starts her show off with a quote, and she talks about different topics. But the thing is we're all making excuses for different things that we do in our life. I've done it all the time. If when it comes, oh my God, isn't she the best? You have to go sit in her studio audience. And I got picked by randomly, so you have to go. I'm telling you, just go online and sign up now. But I have put off making important decisions in my life out of fear. out of not wanting to do things and coming up with the excuses, every excuse under the sun. I'm comfortable where I am. I've been doing this for so long that I don't want to change what I'm doing. A lot of people, as you know, I'm in the health and wellness industry, and I talk to a lot of different people about weight loss, and they literally, I don't have the money, I don't have this, I can't do that. I'm telling you, and I'm going to talk about the excuses, but you avoid being with people because you don't want to be with them and they're not worthy of your attention, or you spend time being yourself and being in your house because you don't want to put yourself out there, or you need to find another job and you're just not putting your one foot in front of the other to go find another job. The weight loss, you're just like, you know what, I'm not, it's funny because a lot of these excuses kind of tie into what I hear from a lot of different people and what they say to me, and I'm like, why don't you just be truthful? So you need to stop doing the excuses and the lame ass excuses the way I'm going to go do it. You need to do it now. Do we all make excuses? Of course we do. Do you make excuses? Drop me a thumbs up right now, because you can't tell me that there's not one time. It could even be in the day that you wake up in the morning and you're like, yeah, I don't feel like doing that. Or no, I'm too tired, or whatever the case may be. We all make excuses, right? But can you live with yourself knowing that you're making these excuses to people instead of just being truthful and really just saying where it's coming from, right? So if the answer is yes, thank you, Doris. If the answer is yes, the lame ass excuses stands. If not, do something about it. Stop making excuses, because you're doing it. I know you are, right? So any smart risk-ologist will tell you this rule and will serve you for your whole life. To properly take a risk in your life, it is mandatory that you operate in reality and take responsibility for your own actions. Sharon, do share in a private message if you feel like it. Do tell me, PM me, or if you could share, tell everyone. So the operate in reality and take responsibility of your own actions or inactions. Until you do, everything you want will remain out of your reach to you, because it's all controlled by someone or something else that won't give it to you. So as a service, right, to excuse makers the world over, okay, this article says, I've gone to the embarrassing trouble of cataloging a list of this person's own offenses, but some of these are mine, and I'm going to tell you where it is and how it falls and why some of these relate to me, okay? So when you find yourself making a lame-ass excuse, simply stop yourself, recognize your blunder, and correct it by restating the proper reality-based form. And I'm going to give you both, okay? So the first one, I'll get to it someday. How many have you had? I'm telling you, we all have someday syndrome. We all have someday syndrome. Always have someday syndrome. The cleaning of the house, wanting to be with people, putting yourself out there for different things, right? So this is the one where when there's something you say is important to you, but not actually important enough to commit to it. And that's so true, right? Someday is not a day of the week, and it never will be. The days of the week, as you know, are Monday to Friday, or Monday to Sunday, Sunday to Saturday, however you want to, do your week. But someday is not a day in the week. And saying someday isn't going to give you validity, and it's not going to give you what you want, right? So it's important, and it's really important to give yourself a deadline to finish it. Actually, that goes to Mel Robbins' 5-4-3-2-1 rule. I'm telling you, if you procrastinate or you say someday in your life, you need to do the Mel Robbins 5-4-3-2-1. And I'm telling you, the book will change your life, because you will not be saying some way. But a non-lame ass alternative to saying it is, I like the idea of this, but I'm not ready to commit to it yet. See, now that's taking ownership and accountability. I like the idea of this, but I'm not ready to commit to it yet. That would be a better way to phrase it instead of someday, because you're really owning up to the fact that you don't want to do it, okay? Number 2, I need to get more feedback first. Tomorrow's never promised. Just do it. Yes, you can take yourself in. Oh my God, talk yourself. Leslie, I've done it over and over again, and I finally stopped doing it in my life. I've even put a post up on Facebook. Say yes. Say yes. What's the worst that's going to happen? So I need to get more feedback first. The lame excuses comes from a need for permission to do what you want, right? You need permission to do what you want. I'm trying to touch my screen. There we go. If you believe the value of the things you do comes from other people thinking they're great, it's unlikely you're ever going to find the courage to do something that you think is great. The most important risks you take in life will always depend on your own opinion of them more than others' opinions of them. Here's a non-lame-ass excuse alternative to saying, I need to get more feedback first. You can say, I'm not confident enough in myself yet to do this. I'm working on it. Now, how amazing is it saying it that way? How amazing is phrasing it that way? Okay. Number 3, I don't have time for that. Oh, I am so tired of that. You know the YouTube or like the video, I ain't got time for that. I got bronchitis. I just watched that recently because it's so friggin' funny. And they made a parody on it. But I don't have time for that. Have you ever noticed that people who complain they don't have time for something are often the same people who complain they don't have time for anything? They never have time for anything. And oh boy, do you have those types of people in your life? Oh my God, it drives me insane, right? The lame-ass excuse comes down to an inability to manage priorities. Everyone has the same 24 hours available to them every single day. You have the same 24 hours, I have the same 24 hours, right? But not everyone makes the choices about how you use those 24 hours. No one uses those, right? So rather than whine, right, Leslie, I'm telling you, rather than whine about how you never have time to do what you want, try this instead. My priorities suck, and I spend a lot of time doing things that don't make me happy. OMG, I love that. Could you imagine actually saying that to yourself, right? Could you actually imagine saying that to yourself? Instead of saying, I don't have time for that, you actually take ownership and say, my priorities suck and I spend a lot of time doing things that don't make me happy, because a lot of us do. And here's the thing, I'm going to be honest with you, I changed this for me. I don't do anything that doesn't bring me joy anymore. Nothing. Zero. Now, do we have to do things because we kind of have to sometimes? But I shouldn't say I don't ever do it anymore. I choose not to, if I can help, not do things that bring me joy. Because if you're doing things that don't bring you joy, you're barking up the wrong tree and your life is just not going to be fulfilled. Number 4, I can't afford it. Oh my Lord, have I heard this over and over again? I don't have the money. I can't afford it. My health is not a priority. I don't have the money to spend on that. And then I'll come back and I'll say to them, right? Especially because you guys know I do health and wellness. You guys all know I do that, right? But especially when I say to them, okay, well, let's work within your budget. Give me your budget and I'm going to work with you. I'm going to give you some suggestions on ways we can make your health and wellness come to fruition, because you're reaching out to me because you want to lose weight or you want to feel better about yourself or you want a better diet, right? So instead of, I used to say, people used to say this to me all the time. I've actually even said it, right? But it's never true. Most of the time, 9 times out of 10, when you say it, it's a cop-out. You basically, the truth is you don't want to spend the money. Not that you can't afford it, because if you're reaching out to me that you want to lose weight, or you have a goal in mind about what it is that you want to do, when you sit there and say, I can't afford it, really? If you actually can afford it, then that's fine, right? But if you have the money to do what it is, and you're just using that as an excuse, let me tell you how to rephrase it. That's not how I prefer to spend my money. If that changes, I'll let you know. I would prefer someone say that to me and then tell me they can't afford it. Because if someone is spend tons of money on things, and how about they spend tons of things like that made them unhealthy to begin with, that we're still running to McDonald's, or they're still spending $5 on a Starbucks coffee, or honestly, you're spending your money in places, even not in health and wellness related, you're spending your money in places that isn't going to bring you anything. But you're still running to the store and you're buying your Starbucks and your Dunkin' Donuts and your snacks and you're going out to eat and you're going on vacations and whatever, but you're sitting here telling me that you can't afford it. Well, okay, now listen, there's people out there that can't afford things. So I'm not sitting here saying that if you say that you really can't afford it, but if you're reaching out to me, your priority was to lose weight or get healthy or whatever, then let's discuss it. Let's just see what the bottom line is. And then if you choose not to spend the money, you choose not to spend the money, not that you can't afford it. Number 5, that might work for some people, but not for me. How many times have you heard that before? Oh, that might work for some people, but I've actually been speaking to somebody recently, and they're actually like, you have all the money in the world. You have everything. Your life is perfect. You have lots of friends. And I think to myself, I'm like, are you in my shoes? Like, do you not think that there's days that life sucks sometimes? yeah, life sucks sometimes. You know, I tend to put things on Facebook, but I put truthful things. You guys all saw the journey I went through with Ashley. You all saw that I journeyed with my weight. You all see the struggles that I go through. I put it out on Facebook. I don't give you every nitty gritty little dirty details, every single thing. We all have struggles every day, right? But saying that might work for some people, but it doesn't work for me. It's the most used often by those suffering from I'm beautiful and a unique snowflake syndrome. It's a horrendous affliction, and if you have it, I recommend addressing it immediately. I love that. The root of the problem is your inability to break down an idea, advice, directions, guidance, right, into pieces. So rather than looking at it for the parts of the story that you can use, you discard the entire idea and you're just not going to do it. For instance, I'll talk about my weight loss program. So I have a program. It's 3 products, 4 products, whatever it is that you decide to do. And right away you're like, oh, can't afford it. And then I'll be like, all right, well, why don't we talk about what you can do? And to be honest with you, I've talked to people about their weight loss and they don't buy anything for me. I would rather them get healthy and give them a food plan. And they're like, oh, yeah, no, that's not going to work for me. And I'm like, how do you know? Why are we even talking, right? And it could be for anything. So rather than looking for the parts of the story that you can use, you discard the entire thing and then you throw it out the window. People who excel at this can take a recipe for a spaghetti dinner and turn it into instructions for anything in life. Those with the syndrome don't have the right pot to boil the water in. I love that analogy. Let me read that again. People who excel at this can take a recipe for a spaghetti dinner and turn it into instructions for anything in life. Those with the syndrome don't have the right pot to boil the water in. Isn't that funny? So here's a non-Lameass alternative to use the next time you find yourself suffering from this. Whenever I have extra money, I get things my kids need. And you know what? That is amazing. And so instead of you saying I can't afford it, you're saying, Tammy, I choose to spend my money on my kids because that's my priority in life. And you go, girl. I think that's amazing. I think that's amazing. What a great way to say, instead of saying I can't afford it. Because what you're doing is you're making a choice, right? So here is what you're going to say. So here's a non-Lameass alternative to use the next time you find yourself suffering from IABUS. IABAUSS. IABUS. Is that what it means? Oh, horrendous affection, and if you have it, I recommend addressing it. Okay, so I'm a beautiful, unique snowflake syndrome. That's what that stands for. Okay, you ready? I'm being a Lameass, and I don't feel like applying this to my life right now. That is a much better way to phrase it instead of lying, saying it works for other people but not for me, because that's not true. It's you're either not applying yourself, you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, you're not taking the advice of other people. Yeah, that's more likely. Number 6, they have an advantage I don't have. Oh my God, who can apply that one, right? This one you use when you think the only things that allow other people to succeed at what they do are the things that you don't have access to. This is one of the worst Lameass excuses there is, because over time you convince yourself that you can never succeed at anything because you'll always be lacking something that someone else has. And this is so true. This is like the white picket fence syndrome, where this is like, I want what's going on across the street over there, right? So here's the perfect non-Lameass alternative to use the next time you catch yourself saying that excuse. Here is what you're going to say instead. I don't make use of the unique advantages that I do have. That's what you want to say instead of they have an advantage that I don't have. Because you know what? That's really making an excuse for yourself. Number 7, I wish I could do that, but this is a Lameass excuse that people use all the time, right? So here's a good rule of thumb. For understanding anyone's real feelings, discard all the words that come before but. Like, not to be rude, but... That's all great, but I wish I could, but get rid of all those words. The non-Lameass excuse way of saying it better is, this isn't something I'm able to do with my current priorities. If I actually want to do it, I'll change them. That's a better way of saying I wish I could do that, but I can't stand that but. Get rid of the but. Okay, number 8, I don't know what I want. Okay, this one is funny because this is the article. It says BS. Nothing more to say about this one. Here's a better way to say it. I know exactly what I want, but I don't have the courage yet to go after it. I don't know what I want. Really? 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 There are so many ways to get from point A to point B, point A to Z, or 1 to 100, whatever the case may be. Number 9, it's not the right time. I hear this all the time. It's not the right time. I'm not ready. I want to wait till after the weekend. I want to wait till after the year. I'm going to wait till New Year's. I'm going to make my New Year's resolution. I have to wait till, my husband, I talk to my husband. Everybody says that, right? So, instead of just owning up to your own fear, you blame your inaction on the imperfect circumstances, like I just mentioned, or the economy is bad. I have too many other things going on. I don't have enough education or whatever. I need to talk to an expert first. There may very well be some things that you need to take care of before it's the right time, and that's okay. But in the meantime, don't make lame-ass excuses about things you can't control, keeping you from doing it. Here's your lame-ass alternative. You ready? I am delaying myself by waiting for the perfect opportunity that won't come. And I dare you to say that. Number 10, they're forcing me to. I hate this one, and I really do hate this one. It's the worst because it's the lamest excuse of all. Who, really? If you say, oh, I'm being forced to. This is the one you use when you refuse to take responsibility for yourself and try to blame all your misfortune on other people who force you to do things or demand things of you. Your boss, your parents, your siblings, your friends, whatever the case may be. The truth is, if you live in a free country, there are very few people who can or even want to force you to do something besides pay your taxes, take care of your kids, and do things you signed your name to. So everything beyond that is optional in life, guys. Everything is optional. So here's a non-lame excuse you can use the next time you find yourself blaming others for your circumstances. I'm a pushover. I take care of everyone else's needs before mine. This makes me grumpy. Yep, I dare you to say it. And watch the Mel Robbins episode that I'm going to be on, because it's very interesting that this is what I decided to talk about tonight, because some of it is pretty appropriate from what I went through yesterday. Okay, number 11. Are you ready? Number 11, last but not least, no one really cares what I think. We can't take care of everyone else if we don't take care of ourselves. Just like on a plane, they tell us to put our oxygen masks on. Oh, yeah, that's so true. And that, let me tell you something, Leslie, that I love. And I read that analogy actually recently in another context, and it's true. Because if you're not taking care of yourself and making yourself a priority, you're going to have all these lame excuses. So, no one really cares what I think. You're damn right no one cares what you think. You haven't given anyone a reason to care what you think. And no one's going to care what you think until you prove that what you think is valuable to everyone else. You have enough value, like Leslie just said, you have enough value to take care of yourself and put your own oxygen mask on first. But fear not, there are 2 ways to fix this. Number 1, stop caring what everyone else thinks. I can't shout that from the rooftops enough. Stop caring what everyone else thinks about you, what you say, what you do. Nobody gives a crap. Sorry. Number 2, change what you think to be valuable to others. Change your thinking. Very, very, very important. In either case, you have control over both options. Here's what your non-lame-ass alternative is going to be. Would you be able to get these statements? Yes, Sharon? They will be on their way to you, girl. I worry too much about what other people think of my opinions. Think about that. So instead of the no one really cares what I think, because everyone really cares, it's what you think about yourself, right? I worry too much about what other people think of my opinions. We all need to stop that. Fear and personal responsibility for non-lame asses. This person in this article basically for a long time cared about what other people thought, had lame ass excuses, because you're afraid of making mistakes and looking bad and trying something new and different and doing the unknown. It's really the unknown. You got it, Sharon. It's really the unknown. So you don't want to take responsibility. Other people have to push you. As long as someone else has been keeping me from what I wanted, I didn't have to take full ownership of my own failures or what was going on in my life. But this is no way to take a risk because it assumes failure from the start. You're setting yourself up for failure. So to properly take a risk, you must embrace the principles of riskology. One of these principles is to take responsibility of your actions. When you shift your mindset so that you're the one in charge, you get to navigate the tricky path and you get to call all the shots. At least you have the chance to succeed. You do. If you fail, yes, right? It's all you that failed, though. If you succeed, then it's all yours too. Notice that the alternatives to the lame-ass excuses above are still excuses, because they still are excuses, but they're excuses that force you to think about your challenges in a way that can actually do something about it. You take ownership of them instead, right? They shift the blame away from everyone else and back to you, and taking ownership and accountability for your actions will put things into different perspectives. Here's the end. You ready? At the end of the day, the lesson is: quit being a whiny pants and take responsibility for your life. It's the only way to navigate a risky situation. And fear is not nearly as scary when you're the one in charge of it. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening to me. I will send this out to you, Sharon. You've got it. I'm going to take pictures of the pages because I don't even know. I didn't save the article date, but I'm going to take pictures. They were going to be on their way to you. I hope you guys are having a fantastic week. Put things into perspective for you guys. Stop making lame ass excuses for every avenue, every single thing that you do in your life. No one cares what is going on in your house, and if they do, then stop talking to them. Stop surrounding yourself with them, and stop seeking their approval for what you're trying to do, because it isn't going to get you anywhere. You've got it, Leslie. Have an amazing rest of your week. Thank you for tuning into this hashtag Strong with Dawn. If you found this valuable, please feel free to let your friends know. And right here, you'll always know that this hashtag Strong with Dawn is going live, because I'm on here talking to you guys as much as I can to give you tips, tricks, and everything in between. Thank you, Sharon. Have a great night, guys. Bye.